2.
Okay, Ms. Jefferson, we're live.
Great. Good evening. Hello, everyone. Welcome to our College Park Ward 4 neighborhood meeting. We would like to thank everyone for joining us. This is our first meeting for the year and as well as our first virtual meeting. So we ask that you be patient with us just in case we incur some technical difficulties. We want to highly thank our most dedicated and diligent councilman, Mr. Roderick Gay, for bringing together our community stakeholders so that they can share with us the progress of events and issues that's impacting Ward 4, as well as the city of College Park. My name is Celissa Jefferson. I'll be serving as your moderator this evening. So just to go over a few housekeeping rules, if you're signed into the Zoom meeting, let's keep all devices on mute. For the community stakeholders, while you're sharing, let's adhere to the time allotment between 2 and 3 minutes. We do have a Zoom controller monitoring the time, and we don't want to have to mute you just in case you go over the time. Let's begin with our invocation prayer from our chaplain, Marjorie Dent. Is Marjorie available?
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. Let us pray. Heavenly Father, our creator and sustainer, we thank you for this day and the opportunity to meet again in this virtual room. As we gather in your presence for this Ward 4 community meeting, may the Holy Spirit move upon us in a very special way. We pray for the leadership and authorities in the city of College Park, the mayor, the city council, Councilman Roderick Gay of Ward 4, Commissioner Joe Carnes, Police Chief Williford, and all police officers, firefighters, all first responders, department heads and staff, and all their families. We ask that you bless our city. We ask, God, that you take care of the welfare of the city and the citizens of College Park, families and businesses, that we may prosper. Because if we prosper, everything in this city will prosper. We pray for peace within our city. And also, Father, let us be mindful of what's going on in the world. Give us peace in the middle of all that we're experiencing in this pandemic, COVID-19, racial injustice, and crisis in leadership. It's a day of mourning for George Floyd and Floyd families, a time of grief and mourning for those who died from COVID-19. Lord, it's a time of uncertainty for those who are experiencing financial and mental distress. Nothing is too hard for you. We are calling for divine intervention to our adverse circumstances. Heal our womb, heal our country, heal the city, and heal the sick in the land. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Now we would like to welcome, we are always excited to hear from our elected officials, and especially our Fulton County Commissioner, Mr. Joe Carn, who is a resident of the city of College Park. Please share with us, Mr. Carn.
Thank you, Madam Moderator. Thank you, Commissioner Gay, for hosting this virtual town hall. Hope everybody's well. How are we doing, family? Everybody all right?
Everyone's great.
Obviously, we're in some perilous times, very strange times, but we need to stay on point, stay focused, and stay safe in our communities and look after our families and our neighbors. Check in on your neighbors, see about your neighbors, folks. It's just so great to see everybody, to hear so many wonderful voices. As you all know, on the county level, we're working hard. We received over $100 million in CARES Act funding that we've been distributing to the cities. I'm making sure that College Park gets their fair share of that funding and that money. We've given millions in grant funds, and we're looking to make sure we secure more money for College Park. We are securing PPE equipment, face masks, gloves for all of our first responders and frontline employees in College Park. We're working in conjunction with the city in terms of our early voting procedures as well. Some of you may have heard yesterday that I led the effort to stop a $23 million jail expansion. We're going to redirect those funds towards productive community services for more meals for seniors, home delivered meals, more testing. And we're making sure that we have more of that money go towards rent and utility assistance with our community partners. And we want to make sure College Park residents apply for that money and that funding, which is available first come, first serve. So Councilman Gay, you give me a list and I'll make sure we take care of our community first. As you all know, I'm right up the street here on Herschel Road, and my wife wants to stay here, so we staying. So thank y'all so much.
Thank you, Commissioner Carn. Also, can you share with us how we may contact you?
Yes, you can reach my office at 404-612-8222. That's 404-612-8222. Most of y'all have my cell number. It hasn't changed in 10 years. So everybody knows I'm probably the most accessible elected official in all of Fulton County, which my wife isn't too happy about, but hey, that's the way it is.
Well, thank you once again for sharing. We appreciate your service. We also have a campaign elected official, Melanie Harris. Would you like to share?
Yes, thank you so much. Thank you and good evening, Councilman Gay, Commissioner Carn, Madam Moderator. Thank you so much for hosting this very important neighborhood meeting and welcome my neighbors in College Park. It's vital that we keep our communities thriving even though we're in these very challenging times. My name is Judge Melanie Leftridge Harris, and I'm seeking to serve you as our next Fulton County Superior Court Judge. I am currently a judge on our Fulton County Magistrate Court and have been so for the last 10 years, and I've been honored to serve our communities in that capacity. I have been a South Fulton resident for almost 30 years. I went to Spelman in the 1980s, and I could not wait to get back to South Fulton. And so I've been here as a homeowner since I think 1997 is when we bought a house here. So you are my neighbors in College Park. I recognize and realize that when people come to court, it's usually not for a good thing. Unless you're coming down to court to get married or adopt a child or go through a voluntary name change, then you are usually in some distress because you're filing a lawsuit against someone, or you're responding to a lawsuit, or you're a victim of a crime, or you're a defendant in a criminal action. And I want you to know that when you come down to my courtroom, you will be treated with dignity and respect. That is the way I run my courtroom now, and that is the way I will continue to run my courtroom as our next Fulton County Superior Court Judge. I hope to earn your support, your prayers, and your vote on June 9th, which is this Tuesday coming up, for Fulton County Superior Court Judge. Again, my name is Melanie Leftridge Harris, and I'm honored to be here. Thank you so much, Councilman Gay and Commissioner Carn, for the invitation.
Thank you. Also, as a reminder, early voting is currently in progress, and so please, it's so imperative. Your voice and your vote matters. And so just to mention also, you know, our community consists of a large population of senior citizens. If you are disabled or 75 years old or older, you may request that your polling location to be moved to the front of the polling line. But do remember to vote. Election day is June 9th, and early voting is currently in progress. Next, we have Mary Sheffield to discuss the census.
I was muted and I unmuted myself. Hi, I'm Mary Sheffield, and I live in College Park, and I'm working the census this year. And I wanted, Councilman Gay asked me to come to just give everybody an update. At this time, we are running, actually College Park has the lowest self-response of any city in Fulton County. And we're trying to address that directly. A lot of the efforts that we had planned were put on hold because of COVID-19. And so we are trying our best to overcome that. We have some special events coming up that we'll be promoting with for the neighborhood. One of the things I wanted to say is that right now we are in Ward 4. We're at about 34%. We do have a couple of areas that, like, there's one of the census tracts is at 54%. And we know that the people of the Ward 4 are so excellent and so proud of their community, and their voices need to be heard. That is one of the things I am adamant about, that everyone's voice be heard. So one of the things, we will send this out, but I want to give, you can go online and to fill out your census online at my2020census.gov. That's my2020census.gov. But one of the easiest ways to do it, and I found out that some of my friends who are senior citizens have found this one to be much easier, is to call in. And if you can call in at 844-330-2020, that once again is 844-330-2020. And it only takes 10 minutes and sometimes even less. But one of the reasons that it's very, very important is because the money and representation that comes to your area is based on the census count, the money from the federal government, the state government. And so if you don't get counted, you won't be counted in the overall funding. For example, if you invite 5 people to dinner and you have plenty of food for 5 people, but 15 people actually come for dinner, you're going to wind up short in being able to feed people. We need to make sure that we have an accurate account of every corner of this city, because there is not one resident or one area that is more important than the other. And anything that I can do, we have promotional items, and we're willing to come out. We have materials that we can share with you, and we will be happy to do anything that we can to help spread the word. And I would love, we get a reporting every day. And so one of the things that I think would be great is, after this meeting tonight, if we can show a jump in the numbers tomorrow in the census tract where Ward 4 is, the easiest way would be to call in, but you can call in or go on the computer, and let's show them the power of Councilman Gay and his leadership in the community, that we can actually show a spike in the numbers from this meeting. That would resonate so clearly with everyone, because especially with budget cuts that are necessary because of all the cutbacks in COVID-19, that is something that we're going to have to make up for those shortfalls, and we don't want anyone to miss out on services. And I know that Ms. Jefferson works there with side by side with everybody to make things happen. And I know that how important it is for us all to get everybody counted in Ward 4 and throughout the city.
Yes, thank you, Mary, very much for sharing. I know it was quite simple. We completed our census online, took less than 2 minutes. But can you also mention about, there was a slight confusion about the people in the household, the number of household members?
Okay, in your household, in your household on April the 1st, anyone who is living there needs to be included. So like if you have extended family, if you have aunts and uncles, one of the things is families come in all different shapes and sizes. And so anyone at your house on the night of, with the exception of college students, if you have college students, they are going to be counted in a different function if they live away at school. If they live at home, then they would be counted along with the family.
Great.
But we want to make sure that everyone counts. Sometimes people leave out the children, but it's essential that we get the children, because that is how we get school funding and recreation funding. And if those children don't count, aren't counted, we're not going to get the funding. Also, one of the big situations is that Black men are one of the most undercounted groups. And we know how important Black men are in the community and in families. And we want to make sure that they get the word, that their voice matters, and that we are counting on them to be included on the census, because they do matter.
Definitely. Thank you again, Mary, and definitely everyone adhere and fill out your census. It's very imperative for our community as our community continues to progress. Next, we have our Chief Williford. I know this is a high topic that everyone is interested in. He's going to provide us the update on our
I'm sorry, I was talking, I was on mute. I was telling you,
okay.
having trouble signing in, but he's trying to right now. If you want to wait for him, that's fine. Or if you don't want to wait, I can cover crime trends.
Okay, yes. If you can start, that will be perfect, and then he can chime in.
Okay.
Thank
For Ward 4, you guys have crime overall is down, so that is a good thing. We're about 20% at a decrease right now, but Ward 4 had an increase, a spike in like shed thefts, like their gardening tools, lawnmowers, and things like that being stolen. And we actually made an arrest this morning, and there were 3 men that were arrested this morning that had some lawn items in Ward 4. So hopefully we will see that stop altogether. And they weren't young men. You would think it would probably be younger generation. These were older men born in the 50s and 60s. So we're hoping that we have stopped the problem of the spike in crime as far as their sheds and their tools being stolen. So other than that, Ward 4 has been doing okay. You guys have been doing very well. We appreciate that.
Okay, great. And also, it was interesting. I think the other day I received an alert update about the shed thefts. Can you talk to us about how you guys are now informing the neighbors and the residents of any suspected crime increase in the area?
For that one, they did Code Red. So it's one of the programs that we use like for bad weather or anything like that, where we'll centralize the location and area, and we'll make the phone calls, and the calls will go out to notify people of, you know, the crime or whatever the situation may be, to just make sure everyone is aware, because that was a situation where we needed everyone to know what was going on, pay attention, be observant, and give us a call if they see anything that's suspicious, because we were really trying to pinpoint it and get a handle on it. And by the grace of God, today we got lucky, and like I said, they made an arrest of 3 men.
Awesome. And how can they sign up for the Code Red alert?
Code Red is not anything that anyone sign up for. They can always follow us on social media though, because we also put out a lot of information on our Facebook page to try to keep people informed of things that are going on from the police department's side. Like we posted a video today about COVID-19 through our eyes. So if you haven't seen our video, go check out it. It's like 11 minutes, but it's a pretty good video. Councilman Gay makes a cameo appearance.
Okay, awesome. Thank you so much for your time and your service, and for sharing with us our crime update. If Chief Williford would like to join later, just let us know, and we'll sure welcome his sharing. You know, as all of us are adjusting to becoming acclimated to new norms since the COVID-19, and we're excited to hear from Blake Stoner, who is the son of our Councilman Roderick Gay. He's a graduate of Columbia University. He'll be sharing with us on COVID-19, as well as a special guest that he has. Hi, Blake. You can start. Thank you.
Cool. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna share my screen. So just have a little presentation. Oh, I can't share my screen. Oh, okay. Oh,
Let me stop sharing
okay.
because all of the document was supposed to be sent to me so that I could scan them before we put them up on the screen.
Oh, I apologize. I didn't know.
Yeah, so let me stop sharing and we'll deviate from the norm and I'll pass it to you.
Oh, I appreciate it. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay, Blake, you
Gotcha.
got it.
Yeah, gotcha. Thank you. So, thanks everybody. Again, my name is Blake Stoner. I'm the son of Councilman Gay, oldest son of Councilman Gay, and I have started a news publication called Vingle. Vingle is what we call a decentralized grassroots news network, and our main purpose is to address news deserts, areas that have little to no real-time coverage. And College Park happens to be one of those areas. So that's why we're starting here. Obviously, I'm from College Park, grew up in College Park, so I wanted to serve my city first. And we have a big focus on covering the stories that don't get heard and the perspectives that you don't get. But nonetheless, I want to introduce myself, my colleague, Jaime. Jaime, you want to go ahead?
Good evening, everyone. I'm Jaime Fernandez. I'm sending a big hello from Kansas City, Missouri, where I'm currently in law school at the University of Missouri at Kansas City, and I'm also virtually interning with Apple, their legal department. Just to give you a little bit about my background, I've been heavily involved in technology for over a decade. I've worked for a couple of companies you might be familiar with, such as Microsoft and Philips Sonicare. So you probably, if you've used any of those, Xbox, a Sonicare toothbrush, you should know there's a brother that actually was involved with designing it and taking it to market. So I know there's a misnomer that there's very few Blacks in technology, but there's a few of us and we're still, on our grind. Additionally, education-wise, I have 2 advanced degrees from the University of Pennsylvania and the Wharton School of Business in particular. And I'm formally trained as an engineer. And it's my pleasure to also be, one of the founding members with Blake of Vingle, where we're actively developing and launching this new service that's geared towards our community.
Yeah. And me, I have studied strategic communication at Columbia University, and before that, I studied economics at Morehouse. And also, I know how to code. I'm a software engineer. I went to the Flatiron School, which is a coding school. And I've, just between College Park and just being involved with activism, I've been in 7+ grassroots campaigns. Most notably in Ferguson. And actually, my time in Ferguson gave me the inspiration to start this organization. And I've been working in tech for about 4 or 5 years now. So the problem, like I said before, 64% of America actually gets no daily local news. So huge sums of the nation are considered news deserts. A lot of people don't know that. So we're trying to do something about that, simply put. And our solution, is what I said, is a decentralized grassroots news network. So basically, taking people in communities that live there, verifying who they are, and training them to be hyperlocal video journalists. And we've been doing it so far. So far, we've been to 20 cities around America, just kind of testing our idea, our processes. Just on the screen, you can see that the cities on here range from New York, Mississippi, Syracuse, New York, what is that? Puerto Rico, Hawaii, New Orleans. So we've been all over the map, just understanding who our problem and how we're going to address it. Jaime, you want to say anything about this?
No, and we're continuing to grow. So the plan, again, like Blake said, is we're starting very local with College Park. We are specifically, and we'll get to it a little bit later in the presentation, but we really would encourage everyone to kind of support and share their experiences and stories, because that's what Vingle is really about, is again, is sharing the news that you don't often hear, right? There's a lot of, as people of color, a lot of times we have issues with access to information, but then also the sources of information is not as credible, right? And so our solution is to bring these stories to life so that people can understand, about our communities and the problems that we have in our community can be formally addressed.
So yeah, we're here for you. So if you have any stories, just let us know. We'll be there to capture them. But so far this year, obviously, with coronavirus and everything, it slowed us down a little bit. But before that, we were hosting events at the Columbia Business School. We were invited to the News Lab conference, which is basically just like news innovators from around the country come together to talk about the future and how AI is going to transform local news. I even got to meet with, big politicians like AOC, the Congresswoman from New York. Spent time with the U.S. Senate and Capitol Hill. And actually, right now, we're in the Mozilla Fixed Internet incubator. Some of you might have not heard Mozilla, but I'm sure you've heard of Firefox, the browser. Mozilla makes Firefox, and right now we're working with them. They're helping us, build Bingo and expand it. And like I said, we've already started working in College Park. These are just a few of the stories we've already captured. From the far left, this is Miss Rose, got her opinion. She has a Miss Rose dance closet on Main Street, and she was telling us her experience dealing with COVID and just the struggle she's having. It's a great story. I definitely encourage everybody to go to our website or to our social media to watch it and support her because we need, our local business needs support. We have the fire chief. We have this was Q from Dollhouse Salon off of Old National. Even was able to tag along to the Tropical Cuisine. They were doing donations to feeding the frontline workers here in College Park, and even just other local business. This is a local barbershop. But nonetheless, we started to bring COVID-19 coverage to really just keep the specifically the city of College Park knowing what businesses are open, what precautions people are taking to keep people safe, and just the latest local updates in general. So we really hope that you can rely on us for that hyperlocal coverage. And also, so we just launched actually a front page for College Park. You can visit it at vingo.com/College Park. We're going to be uploading new videos daily. It's going to be specifically for College Park, and we're still growing this page, so it's going to be a lot of new features and new things coming. But definitely encourage everybody to check it out. Jaime, anything you want to note on this?
Yep, we're good.
Cool. So moving forward, this is our full team. Me and Jaime are just 2 out of 6. We have others, 2 technical people, Alex and Kenneth. In the 2 on the right are 2 of my Morehouse brothers. Matthew, he's our geopolitical strategist. He's also our international correspondent. He actually is stationed in Brazil currently. And brother Jingwa, super genius, creative design. Wiz, and he's helping us with the visual aspects of the organization. Sorry, you want to say something, Jaime?
No, I was just going to say, and as you can see from the faces that are on our team, we're an anomaly. We're like a unicorn, like we truly represent, the minority startup, and it's, in every essence of the word. So, again, hopefully you will support us, and we're committed to the community.
And last but not least, so obviously we know the nation is changing, the world is responding to what's going on. Black Lives Matter movement has grown to new heights, and it has come to our attention that people in our city, want to be active as well. So we are actually just announcing that we are co-hosting a demonstration this Sunday. To help people voice their concerns and really just express themselves, but in a safe way. Given that COVID-19 is still active and prevalent, people can't necessarily go out to protest. Or at least they don't feel safe to. I should say a lot of people. So this is a mobile demonstration. So people, we're just all meeting up here in College Park, and we will be driving from College Park to the West End. People will be decorating their cars. It's going to be a great event. And a lot of people are actually already talking about it. Actually, the rapper Lil Yachty has posted on his social media today. So it's going to be a lot of people, a lot of fun, and it's going to be really, really impactful for the community. It'll be 100% peaceful, 100% socially distanced. Keep everybody safe. Everybody stays in their cars. We're just meeting up and driving together. It's gonna be great. So
great. Thank you so much, Blake. we have about a minute left. If you can let us know how we can follow you on Instagram or Facebook.
Yep, actually, that's exactly what we're ending on. So you can go. You please sign up for you can get updates from Vingle at vingle.com. But you can text this number on the left if you want them to be. You want text updates, or you can also find us on social media at Vingle Stories. That's on the right. So if you could just take a screenshot of this, you'll have all our information.
Great, awesome. Thank you again for sharing.
Of course, of course. Stop sharing.
As Michael works on adjusting back to sharing the agenda, we're going to move forward with Folio Group, Harry and Bob Beecham.
Hi, good evening, everyone, and glad to be here. Councilman Gay, good to see you. Everybody's been locked down for a while. Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Okay, great. Just some quick updates. If you've been by the property recently, you've noticed that we've started clearing on what we call phase 1 of the project, which if you look at the screen that Councilman Gay is sharing, it's the bottom section, the southernmost portion of the property. So that has been cleared, and in the next few weeks, we'll start our utilities. It's probably about 6 months out still till any home construction begins. Updates on COVID-19, it has definitely affected real estate in many ways. A lot of the banks have tightened up, and but an interesting result of COVID-19 is that the millennial home market is exploding, where we had lots of millennials living in rental apartments and in close quarter living, and apparently the quarantine and the COVID-19 virus has inspired many millennials to seek out single family housing. And so that's one of the things that we are excited about as a result of what's happening. But there's definitely been a pause. There's a lot of uncertainty with lenders, but I think we're going to be okay. So Councilman Gay or anybody have any questions for us?
Yes. If just in case not all of our residents or stakeholders are familiar with the project, can you walk us through the exact location and the composite of whether it's single family homes, townhomes, sure, and the price range?
Yes, I can. This is Herschel Road headed north. Camp Creek Parkway is up here, and the airport's over here. So we're on Herschel Road. This road that you see here will be a new road that we're constructing as the main entrance into the project. Right now we're using, and forgive me, the name of the road slips my mind, but Councilman Gay, what's the name of this road? Can you see it there? It's the apartment.
Hello,
the road
I think your sound went out.
Can you hear me?
Rob, are you speaking of this road here? Herschel Road and
yeah, this one. The one through the apartment. The one through the apartments.
Charlestown.
Yes. Yeah. So right now we have access to the property through Charlestown, which this is our construction entrance right here. So this is kind of the base of our initial operations. The project will consist of single family.
I'm sorry, your sound is going, it's disrupted. If you can repeat that.
I'll sit back a little bit, maybe it's not picking me up. So the project is planned for 300 total units. There are 200 single family homes, which are represented by the purple and the aqua blue. These are all single family homes. And then there are 100 townhomes, which are kind of this peach looking color. These are the the townhomes that are planned. We're building a new entry into the project, and this is the city park that's here that's kind of been not used much because the only access is through Charlestown, and I don't know very many people know that the park's there, but we'll be making park improvements, adding a new gazebo, some landscape improvements and fencing, so that now the general public can have, you know, a nice access through a new thoroughfare right into the city park here. So we'll think that's going to be a great benefit to the residents of our community as well as the residents of Ward 4.
Awesome. And also, can you mention the price points between the different housing?
Yes, and just to be clear, we're Folia Group, we're the developer, so we've purchased the land and we're doing all the development. We will in turn sell finished lots. Right now, Meritage Homes, which is a large national builder, is planning on doing all the building, so we won't set the final price. However, my conversations with them is that the townhomes will be kind of in the low to mid 200s. The single family homes will be in the probably mid 200s to the low 300s. So right now, median house pricing is in America is about 280,000. And I read a statistic recently that I think it was 60 or 70% of home buyers that are looking to buy homes right now are looking to buy at or around 280,000, but only 12% of the new homes being constructed are in that price point. So there's a real housing shortage for homes in kind of the, you know, the 200s to low 300s. So we feel very strongly that this will be a very successful community and will attract a lot of good families.
Yes, thank you very much, because it will definitely help with the affordable housing issue that we have in our community. Let us know your website. Are there any available models or floor plans available to look at?
There's not yet, because now we've, Meritage Homes, we submitted with our zoning approval some sample homes that they plan on building, but until we get closer to, you know, till they get really get ready to launch the construction is the first time we'll see it. So, you know, again, we're not doing the actual construction of the homes, Meritage is, but you know, probably in the next 4 or 5, 6 months, you'll start to see some signage going up, and you know, they'll get their marketing team cranked up to you know, be able to disseminate the information. So kind of, you know, maybe by the next meeting. And Councilman Gay, how often do you host these meetings?
Well, if this go well, we'll probably do it monthly until we get back into having a physical meeting.
Yeah, I would say in the next probably around 4 months from now, we'll start to get some plans. The first phase that's right here is all single family. So the townhomes will come in phase 2, and all this will be done pretty much over a 3-year period. This will be 12 months, then kind of 12 months, and then 12 months. So it's broken down into 3 phases. And construction should, residential home construction should start next 6 to 8 months.
Great. Well, thank you once again. We really appreciate your time and look forward to seeing this come to fruition.
Yeah,
thank you again.
And I did just wanted to thank Councilman Gay for his support of this project. And, you know, as a developer, we're very, very excited about College Park as a strong community for new home construction. And we intend to do some more projects there. We see it as a wonderful opportunity. and I think it's just a great place to be. So we're proud to be involved with the community and thankful for the support of Councilman Gay and the residents of Ward 4. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello. Hi, Miss Lena. I'm a resident and I live near Lakeshore Drive. I wanted to ask a quick question about the development, if I can.
We taking the questions, ma'am, if you don't mind holding that. And we got a question and answer section in the end because we got our presenters on a very tight schedule. We really want to hear your question. Ms. Sheffield? I mean,
Yes.
Ms. Shalise?
Thank you. Yes. Thank you again for sharing. And like Councilman Gay reiterated, we're going to have an area for our public comment that we'll address a little later. Now we will hear from our City of College Park IT Director, Michael Hicks, is doing a great job with hosting our Zoom meeting to discuss the deficiency software.
Yes, Ms. Jefferson, thank you for giving me a couple of minutes just to give everybody an update on what we're doing to have better collaborations with our citizens here in College Park. We are going to launch our own, what we call See Something, Say Something software. Some people call it Citizens Alert, but what we want to do is we want our citizens to be able to report a problem, report a situation right there from their phone if they're walking down Main Street. For an example, if you're walking down Main Street and you see a limb laying across the road, you can launch a concern directly from the app on your phone. You have three choices. You can launch it from the app because the GIS will notice where your location is, and you can send that information from your app. You can make a phone call and somebody will answer, or you could go to the website and fill out a form. So we want to try to make this as efficient as possible for our citizens. Right now, I have it in a test environment. I've got the major five, the police department, fire department, public works, power, and information technology. All of us are gathering our data. How do our citizens connect with us now? How do they put in a concern now? What are those concerns? Give us the type of concerns. We're going to take that data, we're going to manipulate it, we're going to massage it, we're going to put it into our system, and we're going to do it in a test environment. We're going to have some marketing and some public relations behind launching this. And right now, I'm looking at the end of July, 1st of August to go live with it.
Wow, that would be incredible. You know, I am an advocate of real-time communication. You know, it's like having that accessibility would, I mean, they would just propel our community in such altitude. So, wow, I definitely will look forward to obtaining more information when it becomes available for us to access the app. Thank you very much.
Sure.
As you know, our community is growing tremendously. And Charles Phillips Park has been one of the most highly utilized parks and recreation area for our residents. And we're going to have Whitney Philmister to walk us through the splash pad development that we are so anxiously looking forward to accomplishing. Whitney, if you can walk us through the developer for the splash pad, we greatly appreciate it. Thank you.
Hello, good evening. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, thank you.
So again, my name is Whitney Flemister, and I'm your Ward 4 Planning Commissioner, also a licensed clinical social worker. And this project kind of started the beginning of the year. In terms of the complete project, we are looking to kind of revitalize Charles Phillips Park. We all are aware of all the great works that Councilman Phillips did and the renaming of the park that happened some time ago. But the splash pad would be the first phase of a 3-phase project in which the splash pad is about a 3,000 square foot amenity that will be added to the park. We have a lot of different people on board, those members that would be on board would be such as Councilman Gay, other community partners, even not councilman, but Representative Karn is in support of this as well. And so we just wanted to kind of get the community a little bit more involved with this project by bringing them aware to the project and just letting them know that this is something we're working on. Of course, you saw the Folio project with the housing development, which is in the works. This will be something that just adds to, again, the revitalization of Ward 4 and the city as a whole. City of College Park is growing. I have seen a number of new families in my neighborhood with small children. Oftentimes, it was in my own visit to the park, trying to utilize the play equipment that just sparked some concerns where I felt, as though we needed to revitalize that park. So this will be the first phase. We do have a lot of political support. And so we just want to add more community support and perhaps get some thoughts and ideas from the citizens of the community. This, again, would be part of a 3-phase project in which we will have the splash pad for kids, really to be all ages. Splash pads are unique features that are popping up more in cities around metropolitan Atlanta area. They're a lot safer than swimming pools, and they're it's a lot less maintenance, and the cost is a little bit lower. A part that you might want to, if you have the ability to go online, you can check out Elizabeth Porter Park in Marietta. They have a similar water feature, but again, this project would be unique to us in the design that we have kind of put forth and from the needs that we've kind of assessed for the city. The other components would be adding new playground equipment and expanding our senior walking trail. So again, this is something that I definitely think is going to add or bring the amenities of the city up to par with some of our other sister cities. And again, with the Folio project, I was there through that whole thing, and seeing it come to fruition is, makes me really happy. And so I do, again, think this is going to be a great asset. We have involvement from Ms. Jefferson as well, some other constituents, Ms. Virginia, and they brought some really creative and innovative ideas. The cost, some people say, well, how much is this going to cost? The funding really, for the most part, is already there. It's just a timing thing. So we would like to get this kind of pushed forward sooner rather than several months down the road. So if you guys could just submit public comment, perhaps maybe for the next council meeting. Councilman Gay is going to be sending out an email where you can submit public comment because we're still doing virtual council meetings. And that way you can kind of just, voice your support for this project. If you have more specific questions, again, you're more than welcome to ask me at the end of the session, or you can reach out to me via email or cell phone, and I will have Councilman Gay send the information out via email, or I will post on the chat inside this Zoom. Thank you, guys.
Thank you very much.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Whitney. This splash pad is a passion for Whitney, working, in our planning, zoning, and, as like I mentioned earlier, as our community grows, when you see those kids play at Charles Phillips Park with the expansion that our Councilman Gay has already implemented, and then our parks just reopened due to the COVID-19. So this would be such an awesome implementation for our community, and just adding more amenities to make our community more attractive to families. And like I tell anyone, if you're having a stressed out day or anything, go to the park and just look at the freedom in seeing children play, and the smiles and just the excitement on their faces. That will take away any stress any day. Thank you again, Whitney, for sharing. We'll hear from Wes Hardy in reference to the HWC warehouse with Duke Realty Corporation. Is Mr. Hardy available?
His phone is muted.
Oh, okay. Mr. Hardy, if you can unmute your phone.
Hello, can you hear me?
Great, we can hear you now.
Okay, sorry about that. I'll even do the video. I'll be bold enough to do the video.
Okay.
How you doing?
We're doing great.
Good. Okay. I apologize. I just jumped on here, so a little rush, but the councilman wanted me to give an update on the building that we are very near completing for a company called HWC Logistics. This is at 2929 Roosevelt Highway, just inside I-285. And you know, a little history is this is a site we purchased. We purchased from another group that had taken it through the entitlement process. And Duke Realty is we're a publicly traded real estate developer. A lot of people know us from the work that we've done in East Point. We have a large park, Camp Creek Business Center. And so Camp Creek Business Center is a place where we've invested a whole lot of money. And this was a natural, the location of this site was a natural extension for us. It's just about 2 minutes away from the back door of Camp Creek Business Center. And so we bought this site and marketed it to companies who may need it. And HWC Logistics came along last year, and I'll give you a little bit of information about them. They employ approximately 85 people. They're a local Atlanta-based company that's owned by their employees, as we understand. And they're they're what we would call a third-party logistics, a distribution warehousing type company. And they have been, as we've all gone through the last 3 months of the COVID-19 crisis, these guys have been very important. For example, one of the items they distribute is a manufacturer of medical latex gloves. And so their current location's over in Forest Park, and I know they've been working 3 shifts a day, 7 days a week for the last 3 months. And so this building for them is approximately 500,000 square feet, and they'll move their 85 employees over by July the 1st. So we're working hand in hand with the city of College Park, who's administratively been very, very good to work with. And so we're very close to finalizing the project, and they'll be moving their employees over and starting their operations in the building. So, Duke is a company that's, we've been around a long time. I'm only responsible for Atlanta. I'm based in Atlanta. We tend to own buildings a long time, so we take seriously being a steward of the community. And that's kind of a brief overview.
Okay, great. I have a question in regards to the warehouse. So you said that the jobs will be opening soon. How can residents apply for those positions?
Yeah, that's a good question, and I need to, we're the developer and the building owner. So to give you a good answer, what I need to do, and this is something we've learned over the years, that as developers, if we're going to be owners, if we're going to stay in the community, if we're going to keep owning the building, we've learned over time we got to do a better job of connecting the companies to the municipality. So for the reason that you're mentioning, so that the jobs that are available can be publicized to local residents. So I don't have a great answer, but what I can do is get you the right people to talk to.
Great. So if you can follow up with our Councilman Gay, we'll greatly appreciate that. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you, Mr. Wentz. Great job.
All right. Thank you, guys.
Thank you. So now we're open to our public comments. I'm going to address, there are some questions that are in the chat room first. Let's see. Okay, so I think her name is Rochelle. Um, I'm just going to kind of summarize your questions. You had a first your question was concerning the clearing of the green space behind Jesse Dent Road or Arlene Road was supposed to have been done during the fourth phase of the new subdivision. So I don't know if um, Harry or Bob Beecham is still available, if they would have information concerning that, or would you have information concerning it, Councilman Gay?
Mr. Beecham is still on, and he's happy to answer the question for Ms. Rochelle.
Can you pull the site plan back up and show me the area we're talking about? Because I'm not as familiar. Okay. So which area is the question? Jesse Dent.
It's pertaining to the green space behind Jesse Dent Road, Arlene Road.
And I think what you just should make us aware of is how the major grading going, what phase is being graded, so they can get an idea of how you move the movement there.
Okay, so we basically came here and started because this was our construction, this was our access to the site. So the clearing that is going on now is phase one, which is basically this whole area right here is the only portion that's been cleared to this point. So our phase one development will include this whole area and then the road back out to Herschel. Phase two, which will begin in approximately 12 months plus or minus a short period, is this section here. And then the last and final will be this portion here. So I don't know if that answers the question or not, but this is going on now. This is about 12 months out. This is about 24 months out.
Okay, and then I know that Rochelle had a second question, but I have another question pertaining to your project. They have here, how will this project affect the village of College Park Apartments?
You might mean the Charlestown Apartments, the village. Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Please, and if the Charlestown apartment complex, I'm not sure the other. I'm not sure about where that other one might be, but right now is this Charlestown apartment complex, which we're very happy to see. Maybe 2 years ago, a year or two ago, at some point, somebody purchased it, and they've really done a nice job opening it up. Once this road is completed, this road will only be used for construction access, but residents, on a long-term basis, this will be closed in with only an emergency gate that's accessible by the fire department. So there won't be long-term residential traffic going down Charlestown Drive. All the traffic will be coming in and out the new road, and there's a red light that we're having to install right here as well. So during construction phase, there'll be some traffic up and down Charlestown, but long-term, once people start buying houses, they'll come in and out the main entrance.
Okay, great. Thank you very much, Mr. Beecham.
Did I answer the other question? I'm not sure if
yes, you did.
Okay.
Yes,
No, this is Rochelle. No, that wasn't an understanding. The arrow to which he was pointing was on the other side. I specifically mentioned the area behind Jesse A. Dent Road, which is this, there's a blue, there looks like a little blue area that's shaded out back there. And then you have purple rooftops.
Can you see the screen, ma'am? Is this the area here?
I'm
you able
looking,
to?
I'm looking for your pointer, but
Mine's the
it's
one
to the,
wiggling.
okay. No, I don't see it wiggling, but it's
Yeah. Oh, maybe it's just on my screen. I can see it wiggling on my screen. Councilman Gay, can you point to where Jesse Dent Road is? Because I can't see it big enough.
Yeah, I can't see it big enough on my screen to point out
I think
that
Jesse
area.
Dent's to the west. So this is north. If you're looking at this, and maybe you can help me with this. So we're looking at it. It's north. Due north is straight up. So is it to the west, the north, or to the west, or to the south on this site plan that we're looking at? So west would be left.
Rochelle, he was
Okay, Ms. Jeffers,
asking for clarification.
Ms. Jeffers, what we'll do is we'll get with Ms. Rochelle and have her an opportunity to speak with Rob Beecham more in the week, okay?
Okay,
Yeah.
great.
I'll be more than glad to.
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
thank you, Mr. Beecham, again.
You're welcome.
Yes, our next question is, you had concerns about the payment bill plans on the utility bill, the budget payment plan. They feel that it's not working. Councilman Gay, would you have more to share more light to share on this question?
What I would recommend is that person call me and we can actually talk directly with our customer service manager at Phil Bradley, because of COVID, there's been a lot of changes. Some I'm gonna talk about here in a minute, so that we can give that person the best answer. If you would just afterwards share my number.
Okay, no problem. Our next question is, they have questions about the 5G towers being installed in College Park. If there are plans, do the citizens have a say?
Michael Hicks, are you on? Can you take that? Our IT director.
Yes, I would take that question. The actual 5G was actually voted on by the mayor and council. And so I have certainly had a seat at the table because I'm concerned about the aesthetics. I'm concerned about the performance. And of course, I'm also concerned about what most of you are concerned about is once it's deployed, is it healthy? Is it a health risk? So I'm waiting on Verizon to give us more of the data that shows us where these small cells are going to be deployed, and B, what is the output frequency of each one of these cells. And then at a council meeting, Councilman Gay, I will share this with all of the citizens. But the paperwork has been signed by the mayor and council, and this project is moving forward.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Hicks. Our next question is, what is the status of the eyesore construction on the corner of Roosevelt Highway and Washington Road?
It's Michelle Alexandra on. I think I saw her earlier, our city planner. Michelle,
Yes.
Are you there?
Yes. Hi there. I am on. I was looking it up. I need to know the exact address if I could, because on the immediate intersection, on three sides of it is actually in the city of South Fulton. So I'm gonna have to look it up or know the exact address and follow up, because it may be, it's actually in the city of South Fulton.
Miss Alexandra, are we speaking of Wally Park? Was the question for Wally Park, Miss Jeffers?
They didn't specifically mention, they just said eyesore construction.
They said, if I understood, it was Washington and Roosevelt.
Yes.
Washington and Roosevelt.
The Job Corps. That's the city of South Fulton, as you said. You were right. I stand corrected.
Okay.
So they can help you if you want to call them for information about the status.
Miss Michelle, while we have you, can you just briefly touch on any updates on Wally Park for those people who have called me about what's going on at Herschel and Camp Creek?
I don't have a lot of updates. They have been under the permitting process with land development and building permitting. I don't have a date or anything of when they're going to be wrapping up. I do know that our new city engineer has been out there with inspections regularly to make sure, that they're complying. So that's as much as I can offer. But I can provide an update separately.
Okay, great. Michelle, can you let us know if it's possible they can email you directly where they can send their questions to? Great.
Absolutely. So again, so my name is Michelle Alexander, and I'm with the Collaborative Firm. So that's TCF, the Collaborative Firm. My email address is M as in Michelle, M Alexander at T as in the CF, TCF, the Collaborative Firm, TCFATL.com. Michelle M Alexander at TCFATL.com.
Great.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Michelle.
And also for information about any zoning requests, variances, we have been posting all applications and our staff reports. They are now available on the webpage. When you go to the College Park webpage and you go to planning and growth management, we have those posted. So if you're interested in seeing any developments or applications that come in, it's now on the web.
Awesome. Thank you again. Our next question is, when will garage sales be available?
I'm not familiar with did you say a garage sale?
Yes, garage sale. I guess a yard sale or garage sale be available.
I'm not familiar with that. I know that some wards have that, but I'm not familiar with that. That's a question. We're taking all these questions, by the way, that we'll be getting answers to everyone who's asking.
Yeah. Okay, so that sums up our public comment questions. Thank you very much for everyone that submitted your questions. And if you have further information that you need, please send an email to the community stakeholders and the presenters as mentioned. Again, this was awesome for our first virtual meeting. It was a pleasure being your moderator. And if I have to leave you with something, I just want to leave you with, just an adage from our late Nelson Mandela. He mentioned that it takes all hands to come together and work together to build a better world. And that's what we're trying to do in Ward 4 and within the city of College Park. I turn it over to our great Councilman Gay. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Jeffries. You did an outstanding job and you made us proud. I'll be very brief. As you know, our meetings have always been at the Public Safety Building. This is our first Zoom meeting. It's a different experience. I like to thank those participants. I also like to thank the great people that helped us do it, Mike Hicks and those other IT directors. We appreciate all your help. I want to thank the participants for taking time out your evening for making our community aware of the investments that you all are making. We do appreciate and understand that these are investments that you all are making in our community, and we appreciate it. I'm hoping and praying that all the families are well and safe. I'm happy to report that my family has been personally blessed. But during the COVID, I have been out in the community. I've had the pleasure of checking on our seniors. We've had an opportunity to bring fresh produce. I also like to thank our mayor and council for their leadership during this time. They've been outstanding. We're working as a team. Everyone is participating. Our Ward 2 council member, Councilman Taylor, where his ward is contiguous with our ward. He's been very supportive. We're looking forward to a great working relationship. Finally, there are a couple things that we've done. I just want to make mention of those. Roosevelt Highway was renamed up until Herschel Road, Main Street. We'll get more into that at our next meeting. but we're excited about that renaming of Roosevelt Main Street up until Herschel Road. We also have excited about the splash pad, as Whitney said. We need everyone to write to our mayor and council and express your interest in that amenity. I just pray for the day when kids from that community can roll their pants legs up and cool water hit their body and know that it was organizers and leaders like us who talked about it and made it possible. We appreciate the leadership of Commissioner Corn. He's done a great job. He was our council member. I appreciate him what he did for us in Fulton County. So this is our first Zoom meeting. I hope that we have satisfied you all there. We wasn't able to help everyone, but you can call me at 678-794-4538. That's 678-794-4538. I'm available 24 hours a day. Your questions will not go unanswered. I'm happy to sit down with you. We can dialogue, we can talk about it. All of your concerns are appreciated and respected. It takes all of us. Everybody brings something to the table. So with no further ado, we would like to end this meeting. We are exactly 15 minutes ahead of schedule. So on that note, I close. Good night.
Good night. Thank you, everyone. Have a great evening.
Good night, everyone.
Bye.